the tubes in my ears for like hearing, obviously, didn't open up, and usually they open up when you're like a young like toddler, but it took me forever, so I eventually had to get surgery. I never knew that I could write until I tried it, and I really enjoy it. It's really fun, like putting your emotions. It's also like therapeutic, you could say. Yeah. Because like whenever you've had a hard day and you don't have anyone to tell it to, or like, you know, explain what's going on, it honestly helps just like writing it down in whatever form, even if you like can't write music. In the music industry, social media is kind of not looked down upon, but it's in a different category.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here with Austin Brown. What's up? So you're born in Central Oregon? Or?
Oregon, yes, yeah. Bend, Oregon.
Are your parents originally from there as well?
My parents are from, my mom's from the Portland, like Seattle area, and then my dad is from Washington, like Central Washington.
So they moved to
Bend.
Like,
yeah, they moved
work?
to Bend. Well, they kind of, it was just kind of like a life transition. They just moved to Bend because they were like, Bend's awesome. And then they raised me, my brother, and my 2 sisters there.
What do your parents do?
My dad is a general contractor, so he like builds and designs houses, and then my mom used to be a hairdresser, which is really handy. But she now just kind of hangs out with me and runs me around. Yeah.
So do you think you got your creative side from your mom then?
Probably. My dad denies it all. Usually when we bring up like who had the like creative genes or whatever, my dad's like no. But so yeah, definitely my mom like brought that up.
What kind of music were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
Everything. Me and my siblings all kind of listened to like different genres, so it was everything from like country to pop to like, my parents really like country growing up, so a lot of country, yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to when you first found music on your own?
It was basically just a lot of pop stuff, yeah. Adele, Sam Smith, Taylor Swift, those generically, those kind of people, yeah.
But you had, was it hearing problems early on?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I had the tubes in my ears for like hearing, obviously, didn't open up, and usually they open up when you're like a young like toddler, but it took me forever, so I eventually had to get surgery to open the tubes up in my ears because I could not hear very well at all.
Around what age was this?
I would say like when I was about 5. Yeah.
Like you weren't responding to your parents, but you were responding to music.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think mainly it was more in the car, because the car, obviously, than a room has more like bass and sound, and I could like connect to the more like the rhythm of like the feeling of music rather than just someone like talking to me. So that was something that my parents told me that I struggled with, or like that they noticed very early on. Yeah. And
was it kind of a shock, like after the surgery, that you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like?
Just, from what I can remember, because it was a while ago, my parents say that I kind of got out of surgery and they like were whispering to me. They were like, Austin, like, how are you? And I was like, why are you guys yelling? Like, I was like, what the heck? It was like definitely life-changing. So as you can imagine, music, like the whole like transition from, you know, hearing music was greatly improved.
How long did it take you to get used to the sound volumes?
I'm not really sure. I think I transitioned pretty quick. But from that, I'm not really sure because that was a while ago. But, yeah.
And then at what age did you start singing?
I started singing from however long I can remember. I've been singing since I was tiny. But I've definitely chose that ever since I was a little kid over like sports or going somewhere fun or something. I'd just rather stay in the garage or the car after we go to the store and just sing one last song on the radio or something, you know?
How did it click to you to sing? Like, do your siblings sing or friends sing?
No one that I can remember and that my parents can remember. Like, influenced me really like greatly in any way to want to sing. I just did it. It was kind of just in me. Yeah.
How would you describe your personality growing up?
Energetic, annoying, because I am the youngest, so my older siblings, I just remember them being constantly annoyed by me. Like a pest, just always wanting to hang out with them and do stuff with them.
Cute though.
But so very energetic, really unique, because I just remember a lot of my friends. I grew up in a very like athletic town, so I just remember a lot of my friends going to practice and like being really hyped about like doing sports and stuff, and I just wanted to do music, which made me different.
Did you like school growing up?
No, I liked seeing friends because I'm a very social person, but I wouldn't say I enjoyed like going to classes like math or social studies or something like that. I just wasn't like, school wasn't really my thing ever. So.
Were you good at music though? Like music class?
Music class, I never, for some reason, found like much of a like really big interest in like doing choir or music class or theater. Everyone always asks that. I just did it on my own when I was at home, doing my own stuff, yeah.
So you knew from the onset that you wanted to make music your career pretty much?
Oh yeah, I was definitely from a young age like, music is what I want to do, watching all my favorite like celebs that just have like made it, you know? Being like, I want to be there one day, for sure.
Yeah. But that's interesting though, because in like Central Oregon, like, how would you know who to talk to, or how would you even get into the industry, or how do you think?
Didn't really, honestly. I just sang and sang and sang, and I eventually did open mics when I started like getting a little older and found the confidence to like take it out of the garage or like get out of just taking videos for myself. I went to open mics, and a lot of people were like, whoa, you should like really take this seriously because you have a gift. And I was like, maybe one day. And then a like talent agency came to my town, and I auditioned to like eventually meet with managers to hopefully pursue acting, singing, modeling down in LA. And I auditioned, and I made it, and they loved it, and I was like, okay, here we go.
Did you have any like vocal coaches or anyone helping you back then?
Not that I can remember really. I think I just tried a few vocal coaches, but it just, none of them really like stuck. They just didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed vocal lessons, or my mom always tried to get me to it, and she was like, it'll only like improve, you know? And we went, and then I was like, I don't like this. I'd rather just sing at home, like along with songs. Yeah.
And so your parents were supportive from the day one that you wanted to do music? They were never skeptical?
No, they were like, what the heck? Like, first of all, where is this coming from? But they definitely have always been like 100% on board with the music. They're super supportive.
Were you writing original music?
I just started like writing my own original music probably like 3 years ago. But that's when I moved to LA and discovered that I like confidently was like, okay, I can really take this singing thing somewhere. So I started writing, and then I write most of my music that I've put out today. And I never knew that I could write until I tried it, and I really enjoy it. It's really fun, like putting your emotions. It's also like therapeutic, you could say.
Yeah.
Because like, whenever you've had a hard day and you don't have anyone to tell it to, or like, you know, explain what's going on, it honestly helps just like writing it down in whatever form, even if you like can't write music. Just writing it down is helpful, so it was really nice. Yeah.
What clicked you to start or focus more on social media?
I just thought it'd be a great way to get my music out there, just a good platform, because I know a lot of kids do that these days, and they've created these crazy careers out of being discovered online. So I thought I'd give it a try. I connected myself with some people, and it just took off pretty well.
This is when you were still home, or when you moved to LA?
This is when I moved to LA, yeah.
Oh, so
because I originally moved to LA for acting.
Oh.
Yeah. So
acting was your first love before music, or both?
Well, like, singing was kind of on the back burner. I was like, I really love this, but I don't know if I want to like take it anywhere. but I thought acting was super cool after I had that whole like talent agency thing go down. And I got a manager and I moved to LA for acting, and I got really close on a couple of good roles, and then after like a year or two I was kind of just burnt out by it, and then I floated into the social media stuff, and then quickly my managers kind of just scooped me up, and they're great. And from then I have just been making music. They've been throwing me in studios and it's just worked out really well.
Did your mom move here with you for acting, or how was it?
Yeah. So it was mainly like my mom and my dad. But my dad runs a business, and that's in Oregon, so it's obviously pretty hard to stay both places. So he tries to come down as much as he can, but ever since we moved down here, it's just been me and my mom pretty much. Yeah.
And then, so how did you meet your now music team?
So my managers, T3, reached out to me over email, and my dad kind of scans through my emails, just, you know, being the dadager. So they reached out to me, and then quickly I kind of just... And then quickly we met with them, and instantly kind of signed with them. It just clicked. And then from then on, they've been super good. They just put me in a lot of sessions, and I get to create and write and make a lot of new music.
Did you already have music out by the time you met them, or?
No, I had
nothing. Know that you wanted to do music?
Cause I posted some Instagram covers. I was like, when I was doing social media stuff, I just like hang out with people, post pictures, hanging out with people, and then also, cause I wanted to get my music heard, and that's obviously like a passion of mine. So I just post a lot of music covers on a stairwell, singing with the ukulele, and they thought that was really cool. So yeah.
Were you ever scared that you'd go too much into social media? They'd be like, "Oh, you're like an Instagram person who does
For
music."
sure.
Yeah.
I was super fortunate because I was really fortunate that they, you know, saw potential in me, but like didn't want to not meet with me because they thought I was like too like converted on that side, because I know in the music industry social media is kind of not looked down upon, but it's in a different category. So it's hard to choose who could really potentially be like an artist or something. So I'm really fortunate they flew down and like actually wanted to meet with me. Yeah.
Was it difficult going into sessions with people who've been doing this for a while? Yeah, how was that like?
Especially because I was brand new to it and I didn't know, like I would just go into a session and not know at all who these people were that I was talking with. So it was definitely interesting but helpful in my growth, not only for like music but like as a person, just throwing yourself in a room with like 4 random people.
Did your team also help you, teach you like how to write with these people, like how it goes on behind the scenes, or you were just kind of thrown into it? I
kind of just was thrown into it. They were like, they've done it a lot with other artists because they work with a lot of other artists, but they were like, let's just throw him in a session and see how he does. So they threw me in a session and it went really well, and then I did a couple like camps, which is just like 3-day like straight stints of like writing with one writer, and they were like, he reacted great to it. And we created a lot of great singles, which In Between was one of the very first songs I got like thrown into a session I just wrote with some people, and now that was my first ever single release, which is doing really well. Yeah.
Was it ever difficult, like when you're writing, to show like your lyrics and what you're really feeling inside and sharing it with these people?
I've been pretty open about like, you know, my own emotions or like stuff I'm dealing with. I'm a pretty open book. So it wasn't too hard, but it was definitely hard to get people like in the writing session like convinced on what I believe in, or you know, my actual thoughts. So sometimes there will be like an awkward tension in the room where they're going this way with the song and you're kind of wanting to go another direction. So it's definitely like difficult in sessions to, you know, get everyone on the right track when also you're the youngest. And
yeah, like I was just gonna say, do you think that like plays a factor your age, or do you ever get insecure because they've been doing it for like 20, 30 years?
Yeah, and sometimes like in some sessions like people don't I wouldn't say not take me seriously, but it's definitely hard to get your point across when you're like so much younger, you know? So yeah, that's a factor for sure.
And how do you feel like you found your sound, or are you still trying to find it?
I'd say I'm still trying to find it, and I feel like I will forever. Because I don't know if I'll ever like focus on one genre or one sound for the rest of my life, but I definitely, for the moment, have found sort of a sound I want to stick with for a second. Yeah.
What are the inspirations behind Mean?
Behind Mean, I'd say the inspiration is basically about a girl that is just beautiful and perfect, kind of like a dream like girl or something, that doesn't realize she's all these great flaws, or not flaws, but like great personality traits and looks. So she's not so popular, but if she were to ever realize how pretty she was and like took advantage of it, she'd probably be mean, like one of the mean popular girls. It's definitely a concept that a lot of people like, it takes some time to figure out what it is, but I feel like once you get it, it makes a lot of the other lyrics in the song like incorporate way quicker, way faster, and it just makes a lot more sense.
And you have a tour coming up?
Hopefully we're gonna set up a tour soon. I'm not really sure on details right now, but I'm super excited to not only meet fans, because I rarely meet fans unless it's like on the street somewhere random, or like 1 or 2 events I've done in the past. So I'm super excited to meet obviously the people that support my music and go to all these cool places where they're from, because I travel, but like not as much as I like to. So I'm excited to go to these like different places. Yeah.
How would you say you've grown as a person compared to when you were younger?
I feel like I have a lot of not only creativity moving out here, because a lot of doors have opened which allow a lot of like different experiences that you can kind of rely on creating like different creativity with like writing and like music and just everything in the industry kind of. So that's definitely helped me grow as a person.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far in your life?
My biggest challenge, I'd say one of them is moving here, because I struggle with a lot of anxiety. So some things are just super hard for me to do, and some things are super hard for me to like complete. So moving down here a couple years ago, we were on the way to move down here, and then I got super sick, and we like kind of stopped because we were driving, and it's a 13-hour drive from Oregon, which kind of sucks. It's kind of
so long.
So we stopped, and we ended up turning around because I was super sick and had like a massive anxiety attack, and I'm here now. But that was definitely something that took a toll on me for a couple months, because that was my first ever like kind of like anxiety attack.
So also, did you have anxiety before as well?
I think it was like slight anxiety, but that was the first moment that I really realized. I was like, whoa, like what is this feeling? It just felt like really unnormal, and I just felt really uncomfortable. But now today, it's something, you know, happens on the daily, so I'm kind of used to it now. But that was my first like real like instance of like a big factor of it. Yeah.
For people watching who are going through anxiety, do you have some advice to give them of how to deal with it?
Mainly just don't think about the future, because I know for me, thinking about things that are like gonna happen ahead, whether it's like something little or something big, just think about the smallest things that are happening like at the moment, like in this like matter of time, like walking. Like just take your mind off something that's scaring you, because that's pointless, you know? Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
Love to me means finding a connection unlike any other, that's obviously strong and unbreakable.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
I'd probably want to be remembered for something incorporated in my music, but mainly just hopefully inspiring people, because I really look up to people that inspire me.
Yeah, I love this. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Bye.